Today's speaker has been involved in the design field for over 33 years and developed his approach very early on based on solid principles that deliver results. His expertise is in residential and commercial design, lighting design, custom furniture design, and all other aspects that relate to interiors. His greatest love is in residential interiors because of their personal nature. He has had his work presented and published in the Baker Furniture Catalog entitled the Macmillan Collection, which was an extensive selection of furniture drawn from the practice of one of America's most prestigious design firms, the over 85-year-old firm of Macmillan Incorporated, New York. He is a personal tailor to his clients by bringing out the best in them and their environments. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the owner and founder of Spectrum Interiors and the author of the forthcoming book, The Magic of Ambiance, How to Bring Your Interior Design Dream to Life. Stephen C. Adamko.
Okay, hey, good to be here with you on this initial podcast. We're going to be talking about creating ambiance in your residential interior design and decorating, no matter what the budget. Truly, in regards to interior design and decorating, it's all about the magic and excitement of ambiance. This goes far beyond a look. How many know what ambiance really is? Well, let's check the dictionary. It says we're talking about a mood, character, quality, tone, or atmosphere of an environment. This is also another definition, that which surrounds or encompasses. That's a pretty good definition. But what we're talking about and looking at when we create ambiance, no matter what the budget is, consider this, ladies. How does it feel if you wrap yourself in a nylon windbreaker versus a mink coat? Now, you're the same person in both scenarios, correct? But your emotional feeling, your ambiance, the way you talk, the way you walk is different. Is that true? You know it is. So you actually put on a different demeanor, in a sense, or a more expansive demeanor of yourself, correct? That's what we're going to be talking about. Now, I've taken the above definitions and expanded on them a little bit more. So here is my definition of ambiance. Ambiance is the intangible element of an interior that touches the heart, the soul, the mind, and the emotions. That is visually appealing, intellectually stimulating, emotionally satisfying, and totally enriching for the occupants and their guests. Now, the same magic that creates excitement can also induce calm, so it can do several things at the same time. It provides a haven and creates a backdrop or background for the occupants and their possessions, so that they are the gems in their own setting. So think of photography. You want to have a portrait made of your family, and a photographer that is really good is going to choose the correct backdrop that really brings out the very best in you or you and your family. And like jewelry, you are the gem. You are the ruby. You are the diamond. We want to position you in such a way that your setting or your environment brings out the whole character, the quality, the fire, the color of your personality, because you're unique and there's nobody like you in the whole world. That's correct, isn't it? So, why is ambiance so important? I'll be quite frank with you. Without ambiance, you end up with basically just a look. And a look, to me, doesn't really incorporate the depth of your personality and character as well as other attributes of that nature. It's rather superficial. And it doesn't express the true treasure that's in you as a unique individual. So, the big question is, why do so few people have ambiance? Number one is they try to follow a trend or fad. Now, both those things come and go, so it's very easy to get locked into a time warp eventually, just like a time capsule, and it can get outdated at a certain point if you don't handle things correctly. And quite frankly, a lot of things that are perpetuated out there in the furniture and furnishings industry, or even in the fashion and clothing world, are there to perpetuate the idea of constant change so as to keep up the selling. In other words, they want to keep selling you more. Nothing wrong with that, but it's typically done to create in you a continual state of dissatisfaction. But everybody knows that there are certain things that you look best in, certain cuts of clothing that you look best in. If that doesn't happen to be the fad or trend at the time, then where are you? The fad is not your friend. There should be enough, and there is enough, literally, in the world today that it shouldn't really matter what the current fad or trend is, especially if it's unappealing, unflattering, or inappropriate for you. Anybody can look outside and see the beauty of nature throughout all the seasons, summer, winter, fall, and spring. But is there a fad for this color or that color in nature? Do you ever hear that red roses are in this year and next year they won't be? Isn't it interesting to contemplate that thought? Very often people try to take what they've seen in magazines without a full understanding of how does this really mesh with my personality? How does this mesh with where I live geographically? How does this mesh with my architecture, the type of home I have, or the lifestyle that I live? So, knowing yourself is a very, very important first step. Now that we know what ambiance is, and it's a mood, character, quality, tone, atmosphere, particularly of an environment, it is the intangible element that you experience that makes a room seem magical. Creating ambiance is more than creating a look. It goes way beyond that. Many looks just seem to be superficial. Actually, they are superficial, and they lack the depth and draw power that a room with real substance has. So it's very much like a person who has depth of personality. They may look beautiful or handsome, but they also have personality plus. Some of them aren't even beautiful or handsome, but they have personality plus. So the more you get to know them, the more you want to know them and the things about them that make them so unique and memorable. They draw you in, they vitalize you, they invigorate you. Isn't that the way you want your home or room to be described? I hope so. These same personality plus people come from all walks of life. Some are subdued, some are gregarious, some are mild-mannered, some are racy. But you get what I mean. The same thing happens in wonderful rooms. They also come in various looks, colors, themes, and backgrounds. But rooms of excellence have ambiance regardless of the degree of formality or informality. The first step to obtaining ambiance is to define it. Not just the dictionary version, but your version. How do we do that? With words. Word pictures. Words are containers for expressing and articulating thoughts, ideas, and emotions. So what kind of words shall we use to define your ambiance? The answer is adjectives. We'll use adjectives to define our objective. Adjectives will give form and substance to the intangible aspect of ambiance. This is particularly helpful for those who don't have the ability to visualize well. So I asked the client to answer this question by describing or explaining to me, what do you want this room or home to feel like? The usual response is this: I want my home to feel cozy and comfortable. Can you see the necessity of getting beyond that definition and the need to go much deeper so that you can have the kind of ambiance that is the unique expression of you and not like so many others who have not even taken the time to get below the surface issues? My next question is to ask, what does cozy and comfortable mean to you? How do you define that? At this point, many say, well, I just never thought about it. Or gosh, I never thought about it that deeply before. Bingo! That's why they have never experienced any ambiance in their home or homes their whole life. Now's the time to change all that and get you to experiencing your environment on a much higher level and in a much deeper way. Now, I'm telling you all this to stimulate your own mind so that it enables you to dig deeper into being able to express your true self in your own environment. And that's what I'm really all about. All my designs are personally tailored to each and every client, with the result being orchestrated with the desired ambiance that is seen, felt, understood, and experienced. So, I work in a broad range and spectrum of residential and commercial designs as well as furniture and lighting design. For those people who really can't afford the services of an interior designer such as myself, I also offer seminars, webinars, teleseminars, and workshops. So that's a way to get things on the right kind of plane or level. So this kind of concludes the first introductory installment of the Interior Design Beat podcast. And boy, do we have a whole bunch more coming your way. All right. So with that, I'm going to, well, in a sense, sign off until the next time.